Oh, hi! I didn't see you there. So you're wondering why the Persian language uses Arabic letters?
Sure, everyone has always been pondering this very question.
Oh, shut it. Well, here's the reason. Even though the Arabic and Persian scripts look identical, it would be more accurate to say that the Persian language, or Farsi, uses an alphabet derived from the Arabic script, since the Persian alphabet incorporates 4 additional letters used to render sounds that don't exist in Arabic. Despite common misconceptions, Arabic and Persian are not linguistically related, meaning that they do not share a common ancestry. Arabic is a Semitic language, like Hebrew or Aramaic, but Persian belongs to the Indo-European language family, like French or English, even though they don't belong to the same subgroups, of course. And while Farsi and Arabic have influenced each other's vocabulary, their linguistic resemblance stops there. Unlike Japanese, which only developed its writing system after having incorporated the Chinese characters, the Persian language existed as a written language long before Islam came to spread in the country. This is not an isolated phenomenon, as there are several languages in the world that used different scripts throughout the history, like Turkish, for instance. Even today, Mongolian is written in the Cyrillic alphabet in Mongolia, but uses its own script in the Chinese autonomous region of Inner Mongolia. And Tajik, the variety of Farsi spoken in Tajikistan, uses the Cyrillic alphabet as opposed to the Perso-Arabic script. So, for the Persian language, the Arabic script simply happens to be the latest one in use. The question is thus, why did Farsi adopt the Arabic script in the first place? The Indo-European language family is thought to have its roots in the south of the Caucasus and its neighboring regions. As different tribes and societies interacted and moved across the area over thousands of years, the Proto-Indo-Iranian language gradually developed. By approximately 1000 before the Common Era, this ancient Indo-Iranian tongue had diversified into separate branches, giving rise to languages like Old Persian, a southwest Iranian language and also the ancestor of modern Persian, as well as Avestan, regarded as Eastern Old Iranian, which together form the 2 attested languages within the Old Iranian group. We thus have 2 Old Persian languages. But how were they written? The period during which Old Persian was in use roughly corresponds to the history of the Achaemenid Empire. The Achaemenid Empire, also known as the First Persian Empire, was established by Cyrus the Great in 550 BC and centered in what is now modern-day Iran. At the height of its glory, it became the largest empire of its time, covering an impressive territory of 5.5 million square kilometers. But the grandeur of an empire is never without coveting, and by 330 BC, Alexander the Great, who was a fervent admirer of Cyrus, had conquered the Achaemenid Empire, marking a significant triumph in his ongoing campaign to expand the Macedonian Empire. Although Old Persian existed during this period as the language of the Iranians of the time, it wasn't necessarily the official language of the empire itself. During the early days of the empire, several languages were in use, including Elamite, a now extinct language. Achaemenid Elamite was widely used by the Achaemenid Persian state for official inscriptions as well as administrative records, and displays significant Old Persian influences without being linguistically related to it. Since the empire spanned millions of square kilometers, it inevitably included diverse peoples with their own languages. When Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon in 539 BC, Aramaic had already been serving as the bureaucratic language of the Babylonian Empire for centuries. The Persians inherited the Babylonian administrative system and allowed it to continue functioning as it had for so long. Rather than imposing their own language, the Achaemenid rulers thus opted to maintain Aramaic as the lingua franca. This decision was practical, considering that few educated individuals would have spoken Persian, and even fewer would have been able to write it. Old Persian was indeed written using a semi-alphabetic uniform script that may have been partly inherited from the Akkadian alphabet that was also in use in Babylon. Contemporary scholars generally concur that the invention of the Old Persian script took place around 525 BC, commissioned by Achaemenid king Darius I for inscriptions on monuments, notably at Behistun. Now, what about Avestan, the other attested form of Old Iranian, which is now considered extinct? Avestan is known as the sacred language of Zoroastrianism, the official religion of Persia prior to the advent of Islam, with the Avesta serving as its primary scripture. The emergence of Zoroastrianism is believed to have occurred between the 2nd and 1st millennia BC. However, the script used for writing Avestan seems to have only developed during the 3rd and 4th centuries AD, long after the fall of the Achaemenid Empire. By that time, the language itself had already been extinct for many centuries, yet it persisted in use as a liturgical language within the Avesta canon, as the liturgies were memorized by the priesthood and recited by rote. This means that the need to represent recited Avestan language texts thus prompted the development of the Avestan alphabet, which developed from the Pahlavi script. The Sassanian Empire followed the Parthian Empire, which had risen in defiance of Alexander the Great's successors. It was during the Sassanian Empire that Middle Persian emerged and thrived as a significant literary language blending elements of Old Persian with influences from Aramaic, which was also the lingua franca of the Parthian Empire. Thus, Middle Persian language was written using the Pahlavi writing system, an Aramaic-influenced script, although Jewish communities in Iranian-speaking areas would apparently transcribe it using the Hebrew script. Since this script probably originated in the Parthian bureaucracy, it came to be known as Pahlavi, meaning Parthian. But what is the Pahlavi script exactly? The Pahlavi script originates directly from the Aramaic script, evolving to suit the phonetics of Iranian languages. But it also integrated Aramaic words as logograms. This means that Pahlavi served as a writing system customized for a specific linguistic community with elements foreign to it. The Pahlavi script, like the Aramaic one, is an abjad, meaning that it is consonant-based and typically only marks long vowels. Although this script allowed Middle Persian to thrive as the language of government and literature, it also presented several limitations. Because of the prevalence of logograms borrowed from Aramaic, the script wasn't always phonetic. And even when it was, a single symbol would often represent multiple transliterations due to the amalgamation of originally distinct Aramaic characters into identical forms. In addition, many individual letters of a word were joined to one another, with the result that extremely ambiguous ligatures would occur. Since it was so poorly adapted to render Middle Persian, the language was looking for a more adequate option. Following the Islamic conquests that marked the end of the Sassanian Empire in 651 after years of resistance, Arabic became the predominant language for science, culture, and religion. Consequently, the Arabic script was ubiquitous and eventually witnessed widespread use. This led to its gradual adoption and eventual adaptation to accommodate the phonetic and grammatical aspects of Persian. Arabic proved notably more user-friendly compared to the Pahlavi script, boasting a larger character set with 28 letters, a significant improvement over Pahlavi's 14 characters, and its cumbersome ideograms. In the 9th and 10th centuries, the Tahirid, Samanid, and Safarid dynasties officially adopted the Arabic script for writing Persian, which was then the lingua franca and language of administration. This gradual adoption displaced various Pahlavi scripts previously used to transcribe the Iranian languages. By the 9th century, the Perso-Arabic alphabet had become the dominant writing system in the country, and over time, a fresh influx of Arabic vocabulary permitted the Persian language, contributing to the formation of modern Persian as we know it today. So, the reason why Farsi uses an alphabet derived from the Arabic script essentially boils down to the fact that, first, the Pahlavi script, which had been in use for centuries, was poorly adapted to writing Persian. Second, the Arabic script was more user-friendly, since all consonant sounds of the Persian language could finally be unambiguously expressed. Finally, the ubiquitous presence of the Arabic script in an environment in which religion would directly determine the way one wrote led to its widespread adoption as the preferred way to render the nascent New Persian language. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.